And then as far as creating a plan, we always feel concise is better. If you do Google searches for templates and things like that, there's a myriad of them. You don't want it to be a 10-page document. No one's going to be referring to that over the years. It can't be too overly complicated. Simpler is better, especially when it comes to, major milestones and things that you want to change in the business. But starting out, looking at setting revenue and profitability targets. I don't know if any of you on the call have ever heard of the acronym BHAG. Stands for Big, Hairy, Audacious Goal. And that's really something that's far out into the future. Like, hey, if, all the planets aligned and things went just completely fantastic, where would the business be in 10 years, 15, 20, 25 years? Now, a BHAG doesn't necessarily have to be, revenue driven or profitability driven or monetary really in any way. It could be, the amount of customers that you're servicing or the amount of customers that you made ecstatic. It could be a lot of things, but really it's a measurement to say that your business got to a certain success level. It's meant to be a high reaching goal, over the long term. But that's usually, it's a place to start, right? And then you're going to back things off and say, okay, if, in 10 years, we need to be here with our big, hairy, audacious goal, where do we need to be in 3 or 4 or 5 years to be on that march to reach that 10-year target or 20 or 25-year target? Where do we need to be in 3 years? And then backing that off to say, where do we need to be in 1 year? And, along with that, you're going to be identifying, what are the changes and milestones, in the company to get there, generally agreeing again to try and keep things concise on roughly 3 to 5 key initiatives, in all of those scenarios. Even the BHAG, what are the 3 to 5 key initiatives that are going to ensure over time, over the next 10 or 25 years that are going to get us to this giant goal? What are the 3 to 5 key initiatives that are going to get us to the 3-year goals? What are the key initiatives that are going to get us to the 1-year goal? And then day to day, you're going to even break that down to quarterly and monthly. But you can't have 10 key initiatives. Maybe unless you're a giant company and you have enough resources with enough, bandwidth to be able to do that. But what we found, and if you look at most business plan processes, it generally keeps things down to a controllable level 3 to 5. Doesn't mean you can't have other things that you're, doing in the business and making improvements, but what are the top things that are really going to propel you to see the results that you need to see in your business? So obviously tying in your revenue, profitability, and other main business goals to these things. But the other key thing is really determining who is going to be accountable for all these. It's great to come up with the initiatives, but you need to have one key stakeholder responsible for these results and responsible for keeping up. Even if multiple people are responsible for these initiatives or in carrying out the tasks associated with reaching these initiatives, you need to have one person that's, named and responsible for keeping in touch with all the people and making sure over time that these things, that progress is being made towards these initiatives. And creating the milestones that you're going to reach. If it's a 1-year initiative, what are the milestones that are going to happen over the course of the year to make sure you're on track for success. And we mentioned red, yellow, green there. It's part of what we use in our business planning. So it just means whether your goals and initiatives are on track or off track. So we mark them red if we're way off track, yellow if we're close to being on track, and green if we're on track and or if we've reached and hit the target or the initiative.